Kaya Wanju. Hello and welcome, my name's Lorraine Pryor. Being in Kings Park is a very spiritual place to me, as my great-great-grandmother was born here. So through telling my story here today is just like another healing process for me with the dysfunctional childhood that I had. Seeing my mother experiencing domestic violence, it breaks my heart. I get flashbacks a lot about it, and to me it was just like a normal lifestyle. My grandmother took me on board and looked after me, but I also noticed her putting up with verbal abuse, so it made it even more normal to me. And as I grew up, I didn't realise that I would also take this on. As a young lady in a relationship, I got beaten with a baseball bat from head to toe, chucked in a boot, and all I could hear was my mother and my auntie screaming for me as I was going down the road, you know, and I didn't even think I was going to survive that. I started having other traumatic events happen also in my life, which led me down the path of going into addiction just to cover up the pain that I was suffering through domestic violence, feeling not worthy of living. I kept looking for love in all the wrong places. I kept grabbing onto men that were very violent, and I thought having a hiding was something that, you know, I deserved. Something that reflected love. And you know, people say, oh, why don't you just go? Why don't you just walk away? Well, it's not that easy. It's not that easy when you're not financially stable, you've got nowhere else to go, and all you think that this person that has done all this horrible stuff to you is the only one that loves you. I hit rock bottom in my life. I've been incarcerated, and that took me away from a lot of things. I needed to really change my life around for my children, because I had 3 daughters and I had a son. My son and my daughters witnessed a lot of things that I went through as well, and I had to educate myself in this space about what was going on with me. Why was I suffering all these traumatic events, and why was I going through all these traumatic events? Where was this all coming from? So I started to connect up with my elders and find out, you know, their stories of their life and what was happening. And that's when I found out about stolen generation, intergenerational trauma. And I realised I was living this cycle, but this cycle that I was living needed to be broken. I needed to break it. I want to stand strong now for the next generation and for my women in the non-Aboriginal women and Aboriginal women. I want to stand very strong and make that statement that domestic violence is not on, and it's not a normal life to live. No way in this world would I ever think that I would be sitting here working for BHP, having a good life, being strong, telling my story, helping other women in the community now become stronger within themselves. Too many women are dying through domestic violence. No one needs to suffer in silence anymore, and never be ashamed to speak up about what you're going through, you know, because there's always going to be someone that's going to listen. Just don't give up on yourself. There is hope in this world that we can keep going, and no matter how far down you hit the ground, you can always bounce back up.